What if I told you that pains and diseases are not just physical problems, but messages from your mind? I'm Marcos, and today I'll take you on a journey to uncover how suppressed emotions manifest in the physical body, the long-term consequences of only treating symptoms, and how I healed from a chronic pain that no doctor could explain. If you scan your body now, can you identify any pain or discomfort? Our body is not just flesh and bones. It's like a storage unit that keeps record of all the emotions and experiences we've been through since we were in our mother's womb. Apart from that, society has conditioned us to hide our emotions and to believe that being strong is ignoring pain and that we must always look forward and forget whatever happened in the past. How many times you heard, "Stop crying" or "get over it"? This reinforces the idea that emotions makes us weak, so we push them down, convincing ourselves that they will disappear with time. When it comes to healing, traditional medicine focuses only on treating physical symptoms. Most doctors ignore nutrition and emotions. But when the root cause is ignored, consequences build up over time. Suppressed emotions is a self-defense mechanism of the mind to prevent us from suffering over and over again anytime we remember about the unpleasant experiences from the past. Luckily, our body has the ability to communicate those feelings through physical symptoms. And the more we understand this language, the faster we heal and the stronger we get. Modern research in Psycho-Neuro-Immunology proves that emotions, hormones, and the immune system form one interconnected supersystem. Suppressed emotions leads to chronic stress and the prolonged release of stress hormones, like cortisol, which weakens the immune system, promotes inflammation, and increases vulnerability to sickness. Have you been in a situation where people ate the same food and only some got sick while others didn't? This is the perfect example on how our emotions, stress levels, and immune system are deeply connected. And I'm living proof of that. Let me tell you how it all started for me. For 5 years, I suffered with a chronic pain that no doctor could explain. I was hospitalized for a week, taking morphine, but the pain was still there. Test after test, the results always came back the same. There was nothing wrong with me. My body was healthy. But my mind was going crazy, having suicidal thoughts as a last resort to stop the pain. Back there, I was often exploring my mind with psychedelics, but only to spark my creativity and grow my business. I never looked into healing. I didn't even know I had traumas. Actually, one doctor suggested that my mind could be creating the pain. How could my mind be creating the pain in my body? That sounded crazy. During a psychedelic journey, all I could see was that doctor repeating that over and over again. So I surrendered and made that my #1 priority. I started going to ceremonies twice a month, exploring buried memories and emotions that my mind was suppressing in my unconscious mind for many years. The more my ego felt safe to reveal more information, the more I was able to release those trapped emotions. After 9 months of consistency and patience, I was able to access the specific memory that was making my body suffer. For 7 hours, I cried like a baby, releasing lots of suppressed emotions, finally feeling relief for the first time in more than 5 years. This experience taught me the most important lesson. The body is much more than flesh and bone. It's a living diary of experiences that holds every unresolved conflict and avoided emotions. And trust me, if you don't open the diary to process those emotions, they will start coming back in form of stress, pains, diseases, and mental conditions. Our family dynamics is the strongest reference on how we cope with stress and process emotions. What were you taught about emotions when you were growing up? Were you allowed to express anger, sadness, or fear? Or were these emotions punished and ignored? Trauma isn't just what happened to us, it's what happens inside of us while the traumatic situation is happening. When we work on integrating a negative experience and process those suppressed emotions, the cycle of trauma is complete, and we can look back to that memory without having a reaction in the body. Healing is when the past no longer impacts the present. But what happens when trauma isn't processed? It doesn't just fade away, it creates patterns that repeats over and over again. Let me show you how the cycle works. Trauma rewires the brain for survival. keeping us in high alert, constantly scanning for danger, even when they don't exist. This constant stress leads to overreacting, withdrawing, or shutting down. Instead of understanding these reactions, we were taught to calm down or to get over it. But this only reinforces the cycle. When emotions are suppressed or punished, the trauma gets rooted stronger. True healing begins when we stop fighting the symptoms and start addressing the root cause. One of the favorite parts of my work is to investigate someone's history, to understand how they were conditioned by their ancestors, by the society they grew up in, and by the negative experiences they had in life. By doing that, I use the symptoms that have been constantly showing up in their physical body as a compass to find out the emotions that they have been suppressing, so we can identify the root cause and finally rewire that memory. Take Sophie as an example. She had throat problems all her life. She was shy, never spoke up in groups, and didn't like her own voice. Very often her throat would get so inflamed that she couldn't even drink water, so she needed to go to the doctor and take strong antibiotics. According to Louise Hay in her book You Can Heal Your Life, sore throat means holding in angry words. When Sophie started exploring her unconscious mind, she was able to remember different situations where her parents would punish her every time she tried sharing her thoughts and feelings with them. The more we integrated those memories, the more her confidence went up. She slowly started speaking up her truth and boundaries with her family, friends, and partner. She improved her external relationships, but most importantly, her inner conversations. The more she expressed herself, the less the pain returned. Or take Josh as another incredible example. He was diagnosed with brain cancer, and for 4 years, every treatment he went through couldn't stop the tumor from growing. During our Psychedelic session, he was able to see the tumor from inside his brain. He had a conversation with the tumor, which allowed him to access memories about his relationship with his father. Despite so much love, respect, and admiration, he was holding on to a lot of hatred and resentment since he was a teenager. Feelings and emotions that were never expressed and start killing him from inside out. After a few sessions of exploring, releasing, and integrating those memories, he was able to reconnect with his father as an adult instead of the child that was hurt in the past. The more he became vulnerable, the more his father also could be vulnerable, and the deeper they connected. And since then, the tumor has been slowly reducing its size. When the heart heals, the body follows. A powerful pattern that I've noticed among cancer survivors is that their healing was more emotional than physical. The disease pushed them to face what they have been avoiding for years. Difficult conversations, repressed emotions, and dreams that they kept postponing for the right time. And once they start taking action, the disease starts fading away. Unfortunately, the path of identifying, releasing, and integrating emotions requires a lot of effort. It's sometimes very painful and it takes time. Different than the quick solutions that traditional medicine offers to relieve the pressure of the mind with antidepressants or the symptoms of the body with many prescription drugs. But remember, small efforts equals small results. Big efforts always bring big results. Let's say you have a deep cut on your hand. You can just put a band-aid and hope that it will heal with time. Otherwise, you can go to the doctor. He can clean it, remove the dirt from inside, stitch the skin, and allow the body to heal the wound properly. The second option is more painful in the short term, but the rewards are worth it long term. The same happens with our emotions. Patience and consistency are key. Do not expect that there is a magic pill or a magic retreat, a magic therapist that will fix all your problems in one go. This type of expectation only sabotages the gains of any process, or even worse, it can take you out of the healing journey. Expectations and frustrations go hand in hand. You rarely can get one without the other. Think about the best experiences of your life. I'm sure they happened when you didn't create expectations. You stayed in the present without trying to control the outcome. Then magic happened. It's the same with healing. So here are my 10 points that will help you connect deeper with your body and make your process more efficient. Number 1, awareness of the physical body. Scan your body. Where do you feel tension, pain, or discomfort? How long they've been there? Write them down to observe patterns. Number 2, search for holistic explanations. Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life, is my favorite resource. I like how she links physical symptoms with specific emotions. Otherwise, you can Google, for example, left shoulder pain emotional meaning. Take note of the key points and reflect on what feels true in your body. At first, your ego may react saying it's not related, but give space for reflection and it will make more sense with time. Number 3, get professional support. This type of exploration is challenging and efficient when done alone. Remember, ego always wants to protect you from the pain and discomfort. Professional guidance will help you feel safe by asking the right questions and providing what your ego needs to surrender so the root cause can be revealed. Number 4, practice self-compassion. Healing is not about fixing yourself. You're not broken. Healing is about reconnecting with parts of yourself that have been ignored or silenced. Be kind to yourself in this process. Remember, your body is not your enemy. It's your ally, and it's doing its best to communicate with you. So the more you have compassion, the easier you can heal, and the more you will increase your self-love and self-worth. Number 5, exercise mindfulness. Incorporate practices in your daily routine, such as meditation, breath work, yoga, and spending time in solitude. They will help you to reconnect with your body and create space for suppressed emotions to surface gently and safely. Number 6, recognize patterns in relationships. Pay attention to recurring themes in your relationships. What are the unspoken truths and boundaries that you haven't expressed? Number 7, observe your triggers. Notice what situations or interactions evoke strong emotional reactions in you. Triggers are opportunities for healing, and your relationships reflect that very clearly. Instead of reacting and avoiding them, ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? Which part of me is reacting? What lessons can I learn from this situation? Number 8, emotional release. Find practices that allow you to consciously let go of repressed emotions. My favorite ones are breath work and moving the body through dancing, stretching, and nature walks. Number 9, microdosing psychedelics. Microdosing enhances the practice I just mentioned before and gives me a strong foundation for my mind in a daily basis. If you haven't watched my episode about microdosing, check it out when you finish this episode. And finally, number 10, psychedelic assisted therapy. This has been the most powerful practice I've experienced in my life. What allowed me to see the deep parts of myself that I was not able to access with any other practice. Find a facilitator that your ego feels safe with, and magic will happen. Healing is not about forgetting what happened to you. It's about remember who you truly are, beyond the pain. Start listening and your body will guide you home. That's it for today. If you like the content, give me a thumbs up and share this episode with your beloved ones. Much love, and I'll see you in the next episode.